to Belfast, Maine, the Belfast Police Department, and other interested parties. On July 22nd of 2023, during one of Belfast's Summer Nights events, I was repeatedly assaulted and had my constitutional rights repeatedly and forcibly interfered with by a small mob, one of whom also repeatedly attempted to steal my property. Happened right down there in that park behind me. BPD officer unknown, who was on duty at the event, briefly interrupted the mob's attack on me by striding into their midst and demanding to know what was going on. But then, despite me stating that I was being assaulted and the obvious mobbing, he just walked a short distance away without asking the mob to stop or to disperse or addressing the situation in any way. Instead, he just stood and watched as the mob went back to molesting me in various ways. I called out for his help a few times, but he pointedly ignored me, chatted with a bystander, and either made or took a phone call as the mob continued their assault on me. Eventually, one of the band members up on the stage, Ando Anderson, addressed the mob over the mic and finally got them to stop their attacks on me, which finally allowed me to get away. See unequal treatment on this channel for some footage of that. I have officially reported this incident to the Belfast Police Department, as well as the two other police agencies who have jurisdiction in Belfast, the Waldo County Sheriff's Department and the Maine State Police. None of them will take any action at all to enforce the law in this instance. The fact that several individuals assaulted me, forcibly interfered with my constitutional rights, and or attempted to steal my property and did so on camera in front of dozens of witnesses, but have faced absolutely no legal consequences at all, is simply not acceptable. The fact that a BPD officer of the law stood by and allowed the mob to continue assaulting me, for all intents and purposes giving them tacit permission to continue to do so by pointedly refusing to intervene, to even so much as ask them to cease their assault despite my pleadings, is absolutely and utterly unacceptable, regardless of Gonzalez versus Castle Rock, for any legal scholars out there. If it had instead been me who had been accused of assaulting someone or forcibly interfering with their rights or attempting to steal their property, then I would undoubtedly, demonstrably have been arrested, charged, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. In fact, just the previous year, I was arrested, jailed, charged, and got my name smeared in the local paper over a false, verbal allegation claiming that I had criminally trespassed. In other words, despite the fact that I had never actually committed a crime, all it took to get me arrested, charged, jailed, etc., was for people to bear false witness against me. The charges were eventually dropped, but my false accusers have faced absolutely no legal consequences. Now compare that to what happened to the individuals who actually and demonstrably mobbed and violently assaulted me on video before witnesses, including a cop. But you really can't, because there is obviously no real comparison. These are flagrantly unequal responses. And that is just one of several equally egregious examples. The cops and district attorney have been maliciously persecuting me, falsely arresting and charging me, violating my rights, and blatantly denying me equal protection, any protection under the law. Plus, Belfast businesses have effectively blacklisted me as a result of this, and the consequent smearing I received in the local press. I have not been able to find gainful employment of any kind for several years and am currently destitute as a result. I cannot even afford basic necessities anymore. I'm seeking monetary damages, but exclusively via civil means, via lawsuit. This has nothing to do with that. So forthwith, I demand that the individuals who assaulted me forcibly interfered with my constitutional rights, and attempted to steal my property be arrested, charged, and prosecuted, and have their names and charges printed in the local paper just like I would. That Officer Unknown be fired, and that Belfast implement policies to curtail similar rights violations. Failing that, you, Belfast et al., will be protested to the fullest extent of the law. Signed, the Swanvillan.
Okay, so I'm here at the City of Belfast Police Department. Hopefully there's somebody here who can help me out. It looks like there's somebody here. Hi, I have a couple of things. First of all, I have some FOIAs that I requested back in March, and if those are
What's your name?
Sean Floyd.
John, go ahead and have a seat. I'm just going to copy what we have.
Okay.
I need the video, so we've been having issues trying to access that.
Would it be better? Now, when I first dropped them off, I was told it would take a couple of weeks, and I'm not making a stink about that, but that's my reason for, well, being here a couple of weeks ago and checking, and then being here again. So
I shouldn't have said that if I did say it, because sometimes it takes a lot longer.
okay, so now I don't have a lot of time today. I just got stuff to do. But I can stop back by, later in the week, or so if you could.
What I'll do is put it in an envelope up here so anybody can just get it.
That would be perfect. And then while I'm here, I also have a notice of intent to tort for state court, and then I have an open letter, and this you might want to share. I'm going to be acting on that. I'm going to be.
Do you want me to take a copy of this?
No, you can keep. That's a copy for you. I have a few copies to hand out, but you're not a cop, so but there's going to be lots of calls here. There's going to be an incentive to stop me from doing what I'm doing, and so, but I'm not going to be doing anything illegal. I've already cleared that everything I'm doing is protected activity. So if you could just maybe pass the word around a little bit. In other words, if I'm, we'll see what happens, I guess.
All right, let me get on this, and I'll have it up here for you whenever you come back.
Okay, probably later in the week or next week. All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Have a good day. Okay, here we are now at Belfast City Hall. Historic Belfast City Hall. It's a little windy, sorry. And I'm just going to give them a copy of my little letter here, open letter to Belfast, in case they're interested.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Well,
Yeah, I wanted to give you that. It's an open letter to Belfast. What happened is, well, you can read it, but I was mobbed at the at Belfast Summer Nights event last year, and the cop, I don't know his name. They're not giving me the FOIA. I FOIA'd it. Walked into the midst of the people that were hitting me, trying to hit my camera out of my hand, all that stuff. And I asked what was going on. I said, I'm being assaulted. And he walked about 50 feet away and just stood there and watched. And I called out to him a few times. And my camera kept getting knocked out of my hand. I filmed some of it, but it's online. But the crowd just kept attacking me. And he just stood there, got on his phone for a while, chatted with a passerby. Then Ando Anderson, who was on the stage, one of the musicians, addressed the crowd and got them to stop. And I was able to get away. Cop just stood there. I reported it, and on my way out of town, I was accosted, detained, as if I was the criminal. And and it was clear they weren't really going to do anything about it, as far as other people were concerned, the people who had actually committed crimes. So I reported it, and I was told, sorry, so I'm just out of luck. So that's utterly unacceptable. It would be unacceptable to you. It would be unacceptable to anybody if that happened to them. And I'm not going to stand for it, so I'm going to be protesting around town. I have a sign here. Just made it for today.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's my situation. In case you're interested.
Would you like to leave your name and phone number?
No, just
for the
get.
city manager, or?
There's nothing. I mean, I don't know what they would. My YouTube channel's on there. They can contact me that way if they need to. But I don't know why they would need to. I'm going to be suing eventually, but I'm not protesting to try and get that's a separate issue. And outside of a lawsuit, I don't know why they would have any reason to talk to me. It's kind of too late. This is, just what's going to happen. So, just so you're all informed.
Okay, I'll pass the letter along. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.